Hello, welcome to the Fault of Horror. I'm Chris, and for the debut episode on this channel, what do you say we talk about my first ever trip to a horror convention? So, recently I went down to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the inaugural Milwaukee Horror Con. I attended along with my wife Colleen and our friend Mike, as well as our friend Katie. The four of us hung out for a bit, soaked in the sights and sounds. So today I'm going to go over the convention itself, share with you the things that I picked up. But before we do that, first of all, I want to thank any of you who are coming over here from the Fault of Horror Facebook page. Just so you're aware, I'm still going to plan on running that. You can go there and find my written reviews of horror movies. Basically, I just talk about any movies I've been watching recently and share my thoughts. And then on this channel, we'll have the video-related content. So we'll do things like pickups, we'll do collection showcases, and I'll do rankings and things like that as well. So thank you everyone for joining me here. On to those pickups. So I just wanted to go over these real quick. So I'm really big into collecting these Shudder exclusive DVDs. Anytime I find them, I pick them up. I feel like it's just a matter of time before those are collector's items. Given that that's a streaming service, it's probably not going to last that they'll do physical media. So I got the Cleansing Hour. This was a cool one. I actually watched it that night after the convention. So this is about people doing like these live streams of exorcisms that are staged. One of the guys in the crew, played by Kyle Gallner, his girlfriend actually agrees to participate, and lo and behold, she actually becomes possessed live on the air as it's going on, and they're kind of exposed as frauds, and they have to fight their way through it. I don't want to share any more than that. That might even be too much already, but I would say check this one out. So this did have the slipcover, which is a little beat up, but the DVD itself, it's in good shape. So I didn't actually watch everything just yet, because it's only been a couple of days since the convention as I'm filming this, but I got Haunt. Never heard of it, but I always get drawn in by these independent film channel releases, especially those midnight ones. They're very hit or miss. Again, they feel like nice little collector's items, stuff that originally debuted on TV. Physical releases, I don't think for the IFC stuff are going to be around much longer. This is one, holy cow, you don't see this every day. And if you know, you know, but American Gothic. I can only recall one other time when I saw this out in the wild, and that was actually, I was with my friend Mike. We were movie hunting, and he found a copy of it. So as soon as we saw this, he got excited too, because he's like, holy cow, you don't see that one every day. And sure enough, so I was glad to finally bring that home to the collection. All right, so here we have a 4-movie marathon cult horror collection. So there are 4 movies on this bad boy. I've never heard of this one. What a title though. Must be about snake people. I believe that's from the 70s, like 74. And then I do already have the full Phantasm collection, and I do have The Serpent and the Rainbow already also. That was directed by Wes Craven. But what drew me in here was the Funhouse. That's a Tobe Hooper movie, and not an easy one to find as far as I'm concerned. So I got this 4-pack, even though I didn't need all 4 of these movies, for the sake of just adding that Tobe Hooper film to the collection. Okay, I got very excited when I saw this one, and this is the only time you're ever going to hear someone say they got excited about this movie. Vampires: The Turning. So the reason why I was pretty stoked to find this one was, you've probably heard of the John Carpenter film The Vampires. There were 2 sequels to it. I already have the second one. Now this third one completes that trilogy for me. I've been looking for this for years, so to finally find it and out in the wild like that was pretty exciting. I've heard nothing but bad things about it, but I don't care, man. Gotta have it. Gotta have all 3 of them. Okay, this one too, I didn't even know this existed. I had never even heard of it. Got very excited when I saw it. Quicksilver Highway. And look at that cover. They got like a foil thing going on here. So this is a made-for-TV anthology film starring Christopher Lloyd, actually. One of the segments is based off of the Stephen King story, is it The Chattering Teeth, I believe it's called? Chattery Teeth, my mistake. And then the other segment is based off of the Clive Barker story, The Body Politic, right? Is that what that's called? Yeah, that'll do. But I love this cover, man. They really captured the essence of novel covers from around that time. Like, this looks like a book, which some of you might consider a bad thing, but I think that's awesome. I think this looks really great. And yeah, I've actually watched this one already. Very much a product of its time. If you're into things such as Tales from the Crypt, that's right on par with those anthology stories from that time. And if I'm not mistaken too, they actually altered this for the video release. The TV version, the stories were in opposite order. For some reason, they swapped them for the home video release. But yeah, so as you can probably see, major collector, physical media, horror DVDs is like a passion of mine. So that was kind of exclusively what I was looking for at this convention. I was hoping to just come home with a bunch of DVDs. And I want to talk about how awesome the whole thing is, but I do need to get this out of the way. It was a bit of a letdown that there weren't very many vendors there carrying actual movies. I didn't see many. I got all of these from one guy. Had there been a better selection, this probably isn't the stuff I would have bought. Some of them, yes. You know, like I said, I was looking for that Vampire the Turning movie, but I was sort of settling for things just for the sake of actually finding something. So that was a bit of a disappointment. One more thing I gotta say, the convention was very small. For an upstart, I kind of expected that. I knew it wasn't going to be huge. Now that I got that negativity out of the way, let's just talk about it in general. So like I said, I've been waiting for this, for Wisconsin to get a horror convention just for ages. Years and years I've been hoping something like this would happen. And afterwards I found myself thinking, I hope they did well. I hope this was successful enough that they can actually continue this and make this an annual event. Turns out they've already announced they're going to do a second one in the fall. This might be a biannual thing. So yeah, that's pretty darn cool. I will say too, for myself, I've lived in Wisconsin my whole life, but I live closer to Green Bay. So if you're familiar with this area, I'm actually a pretty good distance away. That was quite a drive. It was like pushing an hour and 45 minutes, I think, to get there. I don't think for it being as small as it is, I'm probably not going to go to this twice a year, but I do want to support it and I want to encourage other people to do the same. Sounds like they have a very good relationship with this hotel already. I saw them issue a statement on Facebook about the whole thing, which is good. I feel like they're definitely going about this the right way. So hopefully that can create some longevity and this can be around for years to come. And hopefully I have not attended my last one either. I would like to go back. I do kind of regret it. We weren't there very long. We kind of felt like we had looped through everything a couple of times and just sort of run out of stuff. I feel like the ticket prices were pretty reasonable going into it. That's how I felt. After the fact, I thought, if I could go back in time, I would probably have just gotten a Friday ticket and attended Friday because I believe the tickets were cheaper that day. Again, with it being a smaller convention, I don't know if I felt like I necessarily got my money's worth in that sense. But here I am, making negative statements again. I said I wasn't going to do that. I feel like this definitely had its crowd. There were people just constantly filing in. They had some featured guests from various different movies and things. Not really my style to wait in line and pay people for an autograph. Moving forward, I hope this can grow. And I know that would mean it would outgrow the location. And like I said, they've established a relationship with that hotel already. But hopefully at some point this is bigger, because with me having that longer drive, it would be a little bit easier to justify going down there twice a year if there was a little bit more content. But they had like an artist section. They had a lot of people who had like created things. There were authors and short film makers and things like that. It was very much an interactive kind of experience. Like I feel like they were sort of encouraging that. You would like sort of walk up to that booth and say, hey, what do we have here? And that person would let you know what they were selling. Had I not found any movies, I probably would have went ahead and picked up a book or something like that as well. I was also kind of hoping for more t-shirts for sale, because you could always buy a new horror-related t-shirt. But there wasn't a lot. My friend Mike did pick up a t-shirt. He got some movies as well. Our friend Katie got some artwork from the art area. So it wasn't a total loss. Like, we found some cool stuff to take home. I do feel like I want to see more DVDs there in the future when I attend. And I know for a lot of people that's a thing of the past, but for me, that's where my passion lies in horror, is collecting these movies. I did see some people, I was walking along, I was actually wearing this very same shirt, and I heard somebody like, "Where did you get that shirt?" And I like turned and looked, and I want to give these guys a shout out, because I actually stopped and I spoke with them for a little bit, but they actually were recording a podcast right there on site, which is called SlashU. And I want to try and get this here, if this will focus. There's a QR code, so you can go check that out. So yeah, I saw that they did post it. I believe it was yesterday. So I intend to go listen to that. They recorded right there at the horror convention. And I think it was pretty cool that they were doing that. It was fun. We stopped and talked. The guy, it says their names. I don't know which one is which. Nick and Andy are the names of the two gentlemen I was speaking to. But one of those two, yeah, he stopped me because of the shirt. And he was kind of like a skater dude. And like, I'm not really, but I was back in the day, and that's why my wife gave me this t-shirt for my birthday. You know, it's a parody of Thrasher magazine. So we had a chat about that a little bit there. You know, overall, it was a good experience. I wish we would have stayed longer. Definitely, they had like a film festival running throughout the duration of it. I believe there was also like a VIP area with another like movie theater set up. Stop me if I'm wrong on that. You know, so yeah, I'm glad that we finally have this horror convention in Wisconsin. I'm glad that they've already set up the next one and they can continue this on. So please go check that out. I'll leave links down below to like the Facebook page for Milwaukee Horror Con, as well as this SlashU and my Fault of Horror Facebook page. You can go check that out as well if you would like. And that's all I've got for today. Thanks for joining me on this first episode, and if you don't like it, just remember, it's the fault of horror.